Hi everybody and welcome back to the KK Zone. As always, I am Kara Kaufman, your host for all things Yankees and baseball and fun. And hey, I'm coming at you on a Tuesday evening and the Yankees have just won a baseball game. They're in the middle of a 4-game set against the Baltimore Orioles, and this is all about timing, right? Because they've split the first 2 games. They lost last night and looked pretty bad doing it, and they won tonight and looked pretty amazing doing it. So I'm feeling good, even though had the outcomes been the exact same but reversed, probably wouldn't be feeling that good. And such are the vagaries of sports fandom. But in any case, tonight went well. But before I get to that, I'm going to give you my recap that I filmed real quick last night after the game, and this is what happened in 90 seconds. Hey everybody, I am coming at you on Monday evening right after the Orioles game, which the Yankees managed to lose 2-4 in most distressing fashion. And there's a little bit to unpack here. I'm not gonna get too deep into it right now because this is just my 90-second recap, which I wanted to get off fresh right now before I actually record an episode tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get to this 90 seconds. Let's see what I can pull out of this. Ready? Set? Go. All right, Yankees rolled to Baltimore, a place they love to hit, and what did they do? Ooh, they did not hit, my friends. Matt Harvey, in the year 2021, held the Yankees to 3 hits. That is bad, y'all. I mean, yeah, he used to be a good pitcher, but he is not a good pitcher right now. You gotta get more than 3 hits against him. So, wompity womp there. Meanwhile, Deivi Garcia, pitching for the Yanks, looked pretty good in his first action. Poor guy's been relegated to the alternate site this whole time, came back and managed to give the Yankees a couple strong innings, 4 to be precise, allowing only 2 runs. Hey, that could be a lot worse. Aaron Boone, to his credit, went to all the high-leverage relievers, and unfortunately, O'Day gave up a run on a balk, the 3rd balk of his career. That was unfortunate. And Justin Wilson got touched up for a homer, which that's going to happen once in a while. Meanwhile, the Yankees just could not put anything together. Judge, on his birthday, had an RBI double. That was nice. But then things got real crazy in the 8th inning. Yankees loaded the bases, which has been kind of their kryptonite. And, well, with 2 outs, Gio Urshela absolutely lashed one down the left field line. That was great because the runner on third scored, and then DJ LeMahieu scored from second. Aaron Judge from first was going to third, and wait, what? He got thrown out at third base? Ooh, that's some questionable base running, to be sure. But the worst part yet was that the umpires had ruled that the DJ score happened after the Judge tag out, so that run did not count. Aaron Boone got ejected, arguing because they wouldn't let him challenge. The whole thing was a hot mess, and effectively, no matter what the result of the challenge was, the Yankees lost the game by not hitting. But that was a mess that did not need to happen, and frankly, had the score in fact been 4-3 instead of 4-2 going into the 9th, who knows what would have happened? We'll never know. Ultimately, my suggestion to the Yankees is just hit more early on, and we can stop worrying when weird shit happens late in the game. Okay, it's been 90 seconds. That's my recap. Yay! Yeah, that was a tough one to watch. I mean, pitching-wise, I was so happy to see Deivi. I really think he should be making starts. That kid is so talented. And he looked pretty good. I was a little surprised they hooked him as quickly as they did. I'm guessing he just wasn't built up as much the alternate site as one might have wanted. I'll take a quick moment here to shout out Erik Kratz, one of my favorite random short-term Yankees, who was with the Yanks a couple times, but most recently last season before he hung him up. Happy retirement, Erik Kratz. And they called him Deivi Garcia's dad. The two of them formed such a bond when they were working together at the alternate site, and then together on the team too, that it was just the most adorable thing I have ever seen. So, yesterday, when Deivi was, in fact, being called to make this start, there were some scouting reports out there from the alternate site, and I'm going to show you this tweet series. This from Sweeney Murdy, saying that he didn't see Deivi looking that sharp, or hadn't heard that he looked that sharp, and Erik Kratz right there to slap back on behalf of his son. I love this. I love everything about this. I love Erik Kratz. I love their relationship, and yeah, let's see what the kid has before we randomly bash him before he's even given it a shot this year. Come on. Anyway, point being, his control was a little on and off, but that kind of makes sense given what he's been doing, and ultimately looked pretty good. But of course, the story of this game was once again the Yankees could not hit their way out of your bag, as they say, and the base running situation in the 8th inning, which really kind of screwed them out of a rally. First of all, so breaking this down a little bit, bases are loaded with, unfortunately, 2 outs, but with Gio Urshela at the plate, the guy you want. And sure enough, he slaps a single to left, and LeMahieu was on second. Whoever was on third, I forget who it was, scored, obviously, on the single. And LeMahieu was rounding to score, which he would have probably done just fine. But Aaron Judge was trying to be overambitious from first, and really, you don't want to make the last out of the inning at third base. We all know that. He obviously thought he could make it and did not succeed. That was problem A. Problem B, then, of course, was that he got tagged out at third base before LeMahieu's foot touched home plate. We think. Looking at it in real time and looking at it on replay, it kind of seemed like DJ's foot got in there, but to be fair, the angle wasn't great. Aaron Boone, when asked about it later on, said that he thought the version they saw, the angles they saw, showed that indeed the call was correct. In the moment, though, number one, look, I think players work so hard, they do so great, no one wants to tear them down. DJ probably should have already scored at that point. I mean, he probably didn't think Judge was running to third behind him, so I get why he probably wasn't sprinting, but could have been good if he'd been going a little faster to get there. And I just keep thinking to myself, if that had been Gleyber Torres or Gary Sanchez, what would we have been saying about it? And by we, I mean not myself. I think these two guys are great and hard workers, and everyone should just stop implying that they're not. But I'm just thinking, if it were one of them who hadn't made it home, would we be talking about that? And don't get me wrong, I am glad we're not talking about it. The mistake was mainly on Judge there. There's no reason to drag DJ. Just saying. Food for thought. But in any case, bad things happened. No, one of the runs was taken off the board, remaining a 2-run deficit instead of becoming a 1-run deficit, which feels much more surmountable. That's the game right there. But of course, the real part of the game was just not hitting. Had they hit earlier, wouldn't have been an issue at that point. But the craziest thing, and this is actually fun, I love watching Aaron Boone get ejected. I mean, I don't want him to get ejected all the time, but he really gets his money's worth, as they say. And this was no exception. He wanted to challenge that call in the ninth, but was not allowed to because he had run out of time. I have actually not seen that really happen before. There is a time limit on how long you can wait before you challenge a call. This was a hot mess because the calls on the field took a while to make. There was a lot of chaos. It wasn't clear what it had. I'm not sure what the scoreboard in the stadium said, but the scoreboard in the TV still had DJs running the board. So with all the chaos, Boone apparently missed when the umpires told him, it's time. And then when they informed him he could no longer challenge, he lost his mind. And understandably so. That's a big turning point in the game. Anyway, he got ejected. He yelled at them. It was ridiculous he could challenge that very pivotal call that feels like a little bit of a bad application of the timing rule there. His thing was he didn't even look at me. And, that, if you're telling a guy, oh, you can't challenge this call that might change the game for your team, make sure you made eye contact with him first. I don't know. Just a thought. But in any case, when asked about it later, Boone said he didn't think that he would have won that challenge anyway, so, oh well, bygones and all that, maybe hit some more. Which leads me to, let's recap tonight's game in 90 seconds, shall we? I say let's. So, ready, set, go. Second game of a 4-game set in Baltimore. Yankees attempting to wash away a memory of a really rough evening last night, and did they? Yeah, they did. First of all, gotta talk about Corey Kluber. This is by far the best he's looked in pinstripes. His pitches were much sharper. They were moving a lot more. And y'all, he pitched into the 7th inning. That is excellent work by Corey Kluber. He gave up 1 run in that time and really could have been 0 if not for an unfortunately placed weak ground ball. So real props to Kluber. And then I gotta shout out my boy Jonathan Loaizaga, who is hitting 100 on the gun tonight and looking absolutely nasty. So that was really all awesome. But also awesome was the Yankees were hitting from jump. They had 12 hits tonight. That's a happy dozen you want to see, including homers from Aaron Judge, yes, Giancarlo Stanton, a bomb dead center, and Kyle Higashioka, who's hanging in with the big boys in terms of home runs this year and is looking to get himself a lot more playing time if he keeps playing like he's been playing. So, more than enough offense to win the game 5-1. It was really, really, really good to see. And I think that just the bounce back from last night, the way to avoid being in that weird situation at the end of the game is to just score more runs. And hey, you know what, they did. But listen, if Corey Kluber can actually pitch like this going forward, what a weapon. He looked fantastic. For the first time all season, the top 3 Yankees in the batting order each had multiple hits. They all had 2. That's something you should see a lot more of going forward. We will take it. Is it the Orioles? Yes. Are they amazing? No. But the Yankees sure looked good tonight. I have almost nothing to add. This was a great game. This was the kind of game the Yankees ought to be playing. We look at this team and this is what we expect to see. Lots of offense, and frankly, the way things are going this year, good starting pitching and a lockdown bullpen. Shout out to Lucas Litke for pitching another scoreless inning. Way to go, easy, no drama, ninth. We'll take it. Thank you. The only last thing I'll say is that at the bottom of the ninth inning on defense, Judge was removed after he struck out to end the eighth, and the top of the ninth. And that, to me, is always like, red flag, what happened to Judge? Is he okay? And you hope, like, yeah, just getting a couple outs off his feet. But it was only a 5-1 lead, and his replacement right field is Clint Frazier, who I love and believe in, but who's not a right fielder, so, Anyway, Aaron Boone was happy to offer elucidation on that in his post-game conference, and what he said was, Aaron Judge has been a little sore lately, which, where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, earlier this season when he was inexplicably sore and missed a lot of time in the beginning of the year, and I said a lot. He missed some time. It was a bigger story than it had to be. This time it's lower body soreness. Boone didn't seem that worried about it, but we've seen that movie before. Anyway, for the time being, we're going to just say, it happens. He's a big guy. They're playing a lot of games in a row and traveling a bunch. So soreness happens. Certainly he played, 8.5 innings tonight, so he's fine. Boone has preemptively told us he'll get one of the next 2 days off, so let's all not panic. When that happens, please and thank you. Hopefully Aaron Judge have a day off his feet and will feel great again. Those feet are supporting a large man, so once in a while they're probably not going to feel their best. But anyway, he homered tonight, so we feel good. Yes! That's it about this game. It was good. Series is split 1-1. Let's go ahead and win the next two and win the series, shall we? I say yes. This is me taking really nothing in particular and spinning it into a great happy story, but here it is. It's a positive whiteboard of doom. Everybody, a quick check-in here on the whiteboard of doom, and hey, it's another good one because look at this number here, 29. Whatever else has been wrong with the Yankees lately, it has not, surprisingly, been injuries. And as of today, what we can do is go ahead and get rid of that. And we are in a new tens digit, people. We have got 30 days since last workplace injury. That is great. Hey, keep up the good work. Yeah, it's really arbitrary. I mean, who cares? It's been 30 days, but it's been 30 days. And this just speaks to my point made earlier this week that the Yankees haven't been playing great, but they sure have been the healthiest they've been in recent memory. And you know what? All things considered, I will take it because the healthier they are, the more likely they are to just bounce back and start hitting like they did tonight. One other point on this is that this is a fantastic tweet from the alternate site here. Connor Foley does incredible work somehow managing to use binoculars and climb in trees, and I think he has access to the park this year. We didn't last year, and he was doing some fascinating, crazy daredevil stuff to get us the info we so desire about what's going on up in Scranton. He's amazing. Follow him. But this is fun here. This is a freezing cold day in Pennsylvania, and there's everyone in sweatshirts except for Luke Voigt, who does not cover his arms. He will not. He cannot. He should not. Those arms are great and apparently just are large enough to produce their own heat. So that's a fun one. Also, just seeing Voigt back on the field is... Can't wait for him to be back on a big league field. Soon, please. And hey, the Yankees made a trade today, which came completely out of the blue. Mike Tauchman. Bye, Mike Tauchman. I like that guy. I thought he was fun, gives a great interview, runs really fast, plays great defense, and has an occasional really good offensive hot streak. But alas, he now plays for the San Francisco Giants. I hope he has great success there. Bye, Mike. Who did the Yankees get in return? They got a Wandy Peralta, left-handed reliever, and a player to be named later. Always. My reaction to this is... I mean, I like Tauchman. He's a good player. He and Gardner are fairly redundant on the bench, both as lefties with speed and good defense. Tyler Wade was the immediate beneficiary, as he is now called up to play backup at every position and run fast when called upon to do, which he does. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. Our bullpen has been probably our greatest strength, and Wandy Peralta has been meh, like this year and also the past couple years. So I think there's probably a larger thing in motion here, and this was step one. And or they've been chopping Tauchman for a while, and this was all they could get. Not sure which, but in either case, I'm going to miss Mike, but I guess we'll see if maybe Wandy Peralta can do something for us, and if not, we'll see what the ultimate plan involving this trade really is. It's been a minute, but it is time for some baseball bingo! And, a huge update, which is we have our bingo! I'm shocked. It is April 27th, and we've already got a bingo. Melanie, hey, congratulations, you have won baseball bingo. This means that I owe you tickets to a baseball game of your choosing. Yeah, as long as we can get there, as long as it's safe, and it is now starting to be safe to go to ballparks, so your options are increasing. Let's do it. I'm very excited, but also, I cannot believe this bingo has already been won in April. I'm not sure if that means it's a crazy year or I did a bad job creating enough difficult squares to know. But in any case, I'm going to keep playing and see how many of these cards actually produce a bingo in the end, just for like a future learning exercise for me. So stay tuned, there'll still be fun updates. On that note, there were updates that provided Melanie with her win, and the first one was the quotable of "It is what it is." It's the old Girardiism, and though I've watched a bunch of Girardi pressers, I didn't come across one, but Mel caught one on the Yankees broadcast. So thank you, Yankees broadcast, for saying "it is what it is" on the air, thus allowing us to mark that square off our bingo cards and giving her an amazing 5 across diagonal. But 2 other ones happened as well. One of them is a judgment call, and it's Tatis bat flip causes angst. Okay, we talked about this a lot the other day. He had a homer happy series against the Dodgers, and I don't know about angst, but he definitely had a crazy bat flip in his second at-bat against Trevor Bauer in that game, and certainly that was one of the things that sparked that Twitter back and forth that we talked about. So I feel like angst is an okay word for that. I think Bauer's feeling some angst, so giving that one to also Melanie, actually. Her card is killing it today. And then last but not least on the bingos for today, we had, double checking, Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox reached 2,000 career bases. That's a lot of bases, that's a lot of baseball played. That's a good job by Jose. So that is a check off for Matthew on your bingo card, so congrats on that one. Like I said, we'll keep tracking. But also, huge congratulations to Melanie, the winner of Baseball Bingo 2021. Yes! The last thing I will say tonight before wrapping it up is not Yankees related at all. It is Vlad Guerrero Jr. He's been on the brink of a breakout for, it feels like, a couple years. I know it's only his 3rd year in the big leagues, and it's only his 2nd complete year, I think, but he is absolutely obliterating baseballs to start this year, and tonight he hit 3 homers in a game, which is something most people never do. It's something his Hall of Famer dad never did, and he is very, very young, and this could be the first of many such moments. But in any case, it just is further proof that, everyone made a mistake. They let Vlad Jr. get hot, and now watch out, world. Watch out, Yankees. Next time we play the Blue Jays, maybe be extra careful with Vladdy. He is seeing it like a beach ball right now. So, congrats to him and his dad on a really cool day. Now, before I let you go, I must haiku you. These are 2 very different haikus coming from 2 very different emotional journeys for me, so I hope that you enjoy and don't get whiplash. Alright, first, from last night. 2021, Matt Harvey 3 hitting us is how it's going. Yeah, nothing more to say about that one. Just gonna leave it right there. Hashtag 2021. And then, more happily, more optimistically, from tonight. That's much more like it. 12 hits, Judge Bomb, yay offense, and Kluber's first win. Yes, all good things. Thrilled for Corey, thrilled for the offense. More like this, please. Like, how about the next 10, or just like this one, maybe with even more runs scored. Dream big, people. I will leave you then with this quote. We're going back to Stephen Sondheim, my old standby. This from Company. Everything's different. Nothing's changed. Yep, these 2 games. I mean, the vibe could be more different from one to the other, but what really has changed? I mean, the same personnel are still there, the same talent is still there, just one game they hit, one game they didn't. At this point, today's game, you're like, we see it. It's being fixed, they've turned a corner, but nothing really has changed yet. So, I mean, both of that means people are overreacting to the early season woes, which, for sure, they're not as bad as they have looked early, but also, it's a little too early to say that we are in a great swing, which hopefully we'll be able to look back at this and laugh, and in a couple of days look back and say, yes, We are definitively on the upswing. We are raking and we are winning games. Let's start by winning 2 more games against the Orioles. I have faith. Let's do it. And once we do, we will talk about it right here. Until then, though, as always, go Yanks.